Okay. Just letting y'all know the prayer requests, if y'all weren't on last week, I'm making a separate prayer request group just because I don't ever want to feel like people's prayer requests are lost and like people don't see them. And I know chats, you'll ask for prayer requests and then you'll like someone will say praying and then the next person will post something different. And so I just never want someone to feel like their prayer requests are lost. So I'm in the process of making that. I was supposed to make it last week, totally didn't. So making it today. So we'll add everybody into that. So you feel like there's like a safe place for all your prayer requests to go. But anyways, so I'm excited about this topic today because I've talked about it before, but I haven't went in like true depth or I haven't done like an actual Bible study on it. So this one that I chose is, let's see, this one is about like being rooted in faith. And for this one, it's all about having a routine to do that. Let me make sure it didn't exit me out of this one. Okay. So this one says to be rooted, anchored in, and grounded in faith. I think all comes down to creating good habits in your life as well as adopting a life of a peacekeeper. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made, and God also molded us all out of unique individual pieces of clay. However, somewhere within that mixture of clay grew a heavy stain of sin. Think of it as Satan himself created a crazy, strange elixir, let's call it temptation, and crash the Lord's pottery class, only to spike the emotional punch in an attempt to make all of God's clay drunk with all sinful sensations such as envy, pride, anger, sadness, and hate. Unfortunately, these sinful emotions plague our spirits to this day, forcing us to adhere to those bad habits by default. We are far too easily saddened, hurt, and angered by many things to not go our way throughout life. We are all naturally wish to be happy, but some of us are so filled with prideful ways that we miss out on the joy of the life that God molded us for us. So how can we counter this to create good habits in our lives? To do this will require a courageous effort by us individuals to push aside our prideful ways and just adapt to the life that God has made for us. We must create something new and better habits by committing ourselves to life's experiences no matter what, and learn to develop a level of consistency in doing so. This means constantly willing to live your life regardless of any trials and tribulations, hardships, downfalls, or failures throughout your life journey. How can you create a better, greater habit, you may ask? Well, it has been said that habits are created in 21-day, 3-week span. So all you have to do is do something for every day for nearly a month. It may seem like a tall task, but if you really truly desire to change your habits, even if you just spend 5 to 10 minutes in the Word consistently for 3 weeks, you will be amazed by the change. And as long as you commit, anything is possible. So let's say you want to change your faith in God. May I challenge you just to read one verse or scripture a day? You can really start to experience the true joy that God intended for us to have during our time on earth, as well as peace, as well as find peace as long as you will fill your heart with goodness of God's mercy and become anchored into his wonderful grace that God inherited with our clay in the first place. So one thing that I want to go back to, because I'm actually really prideful and I hate to admit it, but I really am. Like if someone were to like insult me, I'm so prideful to the point where I would like immediately feel like I needed to back that up with something else, like telling them why they're wrong. And then I'm also prideful in a sense of like, if worst case scenario and I were to sit here and become broke, not going to happen. If that were to happen, probably wouldn't tell anybody because I would be so fearful or like so prideful of just saying, no, I got this. Whenever I'm struggling, and I've gotten better over the years, but before I would never ask for help. I would never tell anybody I was struggling. If someone was like, how's your day? And I was like, actually having the worst day of my life, I'd be like, it's fine, it's fine. And it was just a pride issue. And so if you have a thing in your life that you feel like you have something that you want specifically to have an outcome for me personally, I have this idea of having a dream home in a year. Okay. So if that doesn't happen, I can't instantly blame God saying, God, you're terrible. Why did you do this to me? Why are you punishing me? And so that's what it's telling you is it's saying if you can let go of your pride and let go of the things that you think that you're supposed to have happen and instead just embrace his word and just embrace what he has promised you, which is ultimate glory, ultimate joy in life. He's going to give you things and it might not be the way that you look. And that for me, that hits pride for me. Okay. Because I specifically want a certain amount of income. I specifically want a dream house. I want new furniture. I want these things. I want to lead so many people to their faith. I want to have 10 new diamonds this year. I want all these specific things, and I'm very specific with my goals. And so I feel like if I'm so specific with them, I should get them, right? Well, guess what? Sometimes I'm super specific and I don't get it. Or maybe I will get it in the future. It's just not in the way that I plan. And I had talked about last week, how many times have you been so guarded by this image of what you want, and you've prayed for something? For instance, you've prayed for money, okay, and God's handing it to you, but it's not in the way that you thought. It's not in a massive It Works paycheck. It's not in a massive like settlement money from whatever. It's not that, but it's coming in from all different sources. And I shared on my team Zoom last night, because this is just crazy, because I like to tell you all my experiences. So I've been like manifesting, praying for more money, and just like for me to know that I can handle more money, okay? And that I won't be selfish with it, that I will have a good heart with it, and that I will be a good steward over it. So it's not just like, hey, can you give me $1 million so I can just go blow it? It's like, hey, can I have this money? Can I have this abundance so I can give it back, so I can be a good steward with it, so I can invest, so I can do financially good things for me, all of these different things. So it's not coming from a selfish place. But I was just saying, I was like, God, I think I can handle more money. Please bring more money to me. I'm at this level where I'm very comfortable. I'm very thankful for where I'm at, but I want to grow. And so last week I did a lot of manifestation tips. I bought 3 new books, and I've just been reading and just really like going in with the word and just diving deep into that. And so I was praying for it, and I was like, God, if this isn't the right will for me, then it's okay. I will accept that. But also, can you provide me with more money? Can you provide me with things that I know that I can handle this money? Well, I specifically want it from It Works. Okay. I specifically want like a certain amount of income from It Works, just so I can prove to myself that I can do it. Well, last Friday, I went to the AT&T store, and I was just like, I have an iPhone 8, and I was like, okay, how much would it be to get a new phone? Brand new phone, the latest one that came out, which I think is like a 12 Pro. Okay. Obviously, iPhones are not cheap. It was like $1,200. Okay. And I was like, okay, I just need to figure out what to set aside for my next paycheck so I can get a new phone. And he was like, well, actually, you have a $750 credit if you just turn in your old phone. So really, you would only be paying like $350 or whatever the difference is. I'm really bad with differences. Whatever the difference is. And I was just like, are you serious? And he's like, I'm dead serious. I was like, you don't do anything. You can just bring it in. And I was like, okay. I've never gotten basically a free iPhone. That is abundance to me. Then right after that, I went to my bank to cut up my credit card, because I was like, I'm done with this credit card. It's like, I don't want it anymore. Why would I use a credit card? I don't need a credit card. Okay. I just want a regular debit card to pay in cash because I'm abundant. And I went in there, canceled my credit card, and he was like, oh, by the way, the money that you had on this credit card is just going to go back into your bank account. So expect this in 60 days or whatever. Okay, you guys. So and I have a really short credit limit, so it was only $500. That's $500 that's going into my bank account. Then, not even done. After that, Dallas, we're moving, and I told y'all this last week, but we're moving, and so we're selling a lot of things in our house. And Dallas keeps texting me, and he's like, hey, I just sold this for $100. I just sold this for $20. I just sold this for $50. Hey, I just sold this for however much money. That is money. Okay. And so I kind of had this realization when that happened to me Friday. I was like, God, this is like you telling me that I can get more money, but you're just challenging me, I feel like, in a way, to see if I can accept your money in different ways and not just the way it looks. And I had to use that example because everything that I use and say, I actually do. I don't tell y'all to do this, and I don't do these things. I do this. And that's just one instance. I have a million instances in life where this happens, but I'm challenging you not to be addicted to the outcome. So it was saying in this Bible study, it said, if you can just do and challenge yourself to do something for 3 weeks, you will realize the abundance that comes in with it. And most of us will not do something for 3 weeks. We give up after week 1. We give up after week 2. How many times have y'all tried a diet and gave up after the first week? How many times have you tried the gym and you gave up after the second week? How many times have you tried to read a book and then you gave up after the middle chapter because it was too boring? Okay. So many different instances in your life, and it's because we are a microwave society. We expect things so instantly. But I do have to say, from personal experience, everything that I've done up until this point, I'm not a quitter in a sense. Like, I would never quit this business. I would never quit something that's going to financially bless me, but I will quit something if it's something else. So, like, for instance, working out. I was never consistent with that. And I've told y'all a million times that since we have new people on here, I can speak it again. When I started going to the gym last year, I challenged myself with just doing 15 minutes a day. And it wasn't even to the gym, it was literally just walking outside. I had to prove to myself that I could do something. That's how it was when I started reading the Bible. Last year was the first year ever consistent in my business, ever really consistent in working out, eating healthy, doing all the things. It was the first year ever. And it was only because I truly believe because I was doing something in little increments. And so I finished my devotional. It's a 364, 65, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's the whole year devotional. I finished it. That was the first time I've ever finished a devotional. And so I tried these things 15 minutes a day. And then once that month passed of just 15 minutes a day, I upped it to 30 minutes. Once those 2 months passed at 30 minutes, I upped it a little bit. And sometimes I go to the gym for 30 minutes. Sometimes I go for 45. Okay. It's still in that range. It's never really for a full hour. I'm not there yet, but guess what? I know I'm going to get there. For devotionals, for instance, now I don't just read a page and I'm like, I'm done. I read my Bible. I sit there and spend time and like for an hour. It's because I have that time. If you don't have that time, start with 5 minutes. So it's telling you right here, and that's why I think that's so important. Is like so many of us give up, but in reality, it's just like this business. We tell you like you might not see instant results. I hope you do. I pray that you do. But if you don't, guess what? You're still going to get paid for the work that you did 3 weeks ago. That's the blessing of it. And so he's telling you right here. He says that all you have to do is do the same thing every day for nearly a month. It may seem like a tall task, but just start out with 5 to 10 minutes and watch at the amazement that you'll have from the change that you commit to anything, that anything is possible. And so I really challenge you for whatever is in your life today that's holding you back, that you feel like is an anchor. And someone described like if you're someone who's like super like mental imagery, I personally have to like imagine something happening. She once told me, and she was a mentor in this business for me, is she was saying if you have things weighing you down, it's like the sandbags on a hot air balloon. As soon as you start lifting the heaviest sandbags off, your hot air balloon is going to start to lift. So the things that are holding you back is the sandbags for you. What is your sandbag today? Is it because you're so unhappy with your health and you're not happy with where you're at that you need to start dieting, or that you need to start exercising, or that you actually need to start using these products consistently? What is it? And so just figure out that way. But he's talking about your spiritual journey too. And I've told you all a million times, until I actually started reading the Bible and like diving deep, even if it was just 1 to 2 words reading in the Bible, it makes a difference. And I promise you it does. And so make that habit 3 weeks out of the year, or 3 weeks, and then go from there. And I want to hear your success. And I tell you guys these things. I want to hear y'all's success because I know confidently how much these works if you put the mind to it. If you're like, this automatically isn't going to work, and you already have that mindset, well, don't expect it to work. If you're going into it with a gratitude mindset and abundance mindset saying, I'm so excited to see this work, it's going to work for you. And I feel very, very strongly that you're going to see results in just a week, even if it's like the tiniest results. Just like I told you, I just started doing the manifestation tips last week about money and stuff, and that Friday. So it didn't even take a full 5 days for me to see that. And I know 100% I'm going to see more abundance. And I got a fast start that I didn't expect to get, which was a blessing. Some girl on my team got a fast start. She didn't expect that. And so like, because I'm receiving abundance, I'm giving my team abundance too. So you have to think of it in not a selfish way. And then it also says, where's it at? Where is this? It says, may I challenge you just to read 1 or 2 verses a day. You can really start to experience the true joy that God intended for us to have during our time here on earth, as well as find peace as long as you fill your heart with the goodness of God's mercy and become anchored into his wonderful grace that God inherited with our clay in the first place. I want you guys to feel the greatness that I feel when I read God's word and when I'm like really connected with him. And I'm gonna be honest, I read my Bible this morning and didn't really connect to it. Okay, that happens. Don't be afraid of it. Don't just after one day, don't be like, I give up. No, sometimes it's harder for me to understand. I'm like, oh God, what you mean? Like, what does this mean? So then I'll go to a different source that allows me to get my word in. So I went to the Bible app after that, and I was like, okay, God, teach me something. And I learned something today. And so just give yourself grace, but also know that like if you do the things necessary, even if it's just starting out 3 to 5 minutes a day, you're going to feel the abundance that God wants you to have. And I'm so tired, and told my team this last night. I'm so sick and tired of people texting me, and so sick and tired of hearing my team feel like they aren't worthy, because I feel that way. And I know what nasty feeling that brings. And who are we to think that we aren't worthy? Like, that's a disgusting feeling. That is not a good feeling that serves you. Like, why would we not be worthy? He gave us a life here on earth. He gave us another chance. Why would we not live it to the fullest? Why would we let nasty, negative thoughts fill our minds every single day saying, you aren't worthy. God doesn't love you. God's not going to bless you with this because you did this in your past, because you are this person, because you have this family. No, he doesn't do that. Just as long as you work towards him and you work towards the word, I truly believe you are going to be graced with abundance. And then soon you're going to look back, and once you used to pray for something, you're going to be in that situation that you used to pray for. And it's just such a fulfilling thing to get there. And when you get there, guess what, you're going to get new levels. So you're going to be like, God, can you get me out of this place that I'm in now and bring me to new heights, because you've graduated from that. But until you experience that, you're not truly going to realize how powerful of what God can do for you. And I believe, and I want everybody to feel that, because that feeling is so amazing. Even on my hardest days, they're easier than the days that I used to have when I didn't know him. And I want y'all to feel that. And I want y'all to know that. And so I'm so tired of hearing people say, I'm not worthy, you're feeling like that. And I bet you $1,000,000 the reason you feel that way is because you haven't dove into his word. You don't know what God has in store for you because you haven't given him a chance. You're just like, my life is horrible. Why would I give God a chance? He promised me this fulfilling life. He promised you this fulfilling life once you look towards him for the solutions. He didn't promise you it instantly if you didn't know him and you just tried nothing to get to know him. It's going to be a little bit harder if you don't know him. Okay. This isn't like a condemning way saying like, you're going to hell if you do this. It's just like genuine facts. Like for me, that's how it was. It was a lot harder when I didn't know him. So I challenge you today to dive deep into the word. And maybe when I say dive deep, I don't mean like wholeheartedly do an hour like I do now, because I had to work up to that point. So do 5 minutes, do 3 minutes, pray over your business, pray over your life today, pray over your intentions, pray over your heart, pray over specifically what you want, and ask him to guide you through it. And I promise you, it's going to be so filled with abundance that you wake up tomorrow and you're like, you know what? I think I can do this today. I think I am a little bit worthy today. And you just build and build and build and build on top of it. It's like building blocks. It just keeps building and building until you build a house. And that house is going to be filled with joy. And guess what? You can house other people with their faith in that. And you get to lead other people to that faith. And then that's the most exciting thing, is when you see other people have victories. Okay. So it's just like seeing your team have success. Like you having success is a blessing, but when you see your team have success, that is the ultimate thing that gives you joy. That is something that gives me joy more than what my success gives me. Like when people text me saying, I did this today, I got this customer, I helped this person, my customer gave me amazing feedback, oh my gosh, guess what, I got $100, whatever it might be, guess what, I found Jesus today. Those things are a victory for me. So build up yourself before you can start helping others. And then when you start helping others, you're going to see the abundance flow in, and then you're going to see what I'm talking about. And then you're just going to be blessed, and you're going to be thankful, and it's just going to be joyful. So I just wanted to share that today. So just make a habit out of something today, and you're going to be proud of yourself. Stop waiting till tomorrow. Stop saying that today is not a good day, I'm going to start tomorrow, because guess what? Tomorrow turns into next week, and then it just leads you to feeling like crap. Start today with your health. If you're really unhappy with where you're at in your health, start today. If you feel like you're fat, even though you're not, because I hate the word fat, because I feel like that's just such a terrible word to say, don't use that. Don't say that. You're not. You're beautiful. But if you feel that way, go exercise today. Literally only takes 15 minutes to start, okay? Do that with anything. Start praying over your business. Start saying good things over your life. And I told my team yesterday on our team Zoom, if you don't believe the things that you're saying, train your mind up to thinking those things. So say you don't believe that you can bring in a diamond in your business. Say you don't believe that you can go diamond. Start just saying it over yourself, even if you don't believe it, because that's going to bring the truth out in a way that you've never seen before. Whereas if you constantly say, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, you're not going to see the gloriousness of what God can provide you, because you're blocking it with negative thoughts. So stop. I promise you. And it's like I told y'all last time. So I got these 2 books, and I challenged my team last week to get these 2 books. Or I challenged them last night, Winning the War in Your Mind. I just got this in the mail yesterday, so I have only read 1 page, but the 1 page was already like mind-blowing, okay? Get this, and it has journal prompts in here, and it has like, it'll ask you questions, and you have to like fill it out. So it'll give you like actual journal things, and you have to really think on things. That's what I like. And then also the game of life and how you play it. It's basically about abundance in life and where you really can like get abundance. Get those 2 books. And if you don't have the money for those, guess what? You have $100 that you can earn this week from getting 5 customers. Get that $100 and invest in yourself. So there you go. But hopefully that helps. And if y'all ever have topics y'all want to talk about, on these things, you can always message me and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this week, or I'm really struggling, my team's struggling with this. We talk about this topic, and I can always just look up a Bible study for that. So just let me know, but hopefully that